These thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see. Your thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things you see. What's good, fam? We made it to lesson 4 of A Course in Miracles. And like usual, I'm going to read what the lesson is. We're going to discuss what we just read. We're going to apply the ideas together. And may we never be the same. Before I start, this wonderful book that woke me up, go cop it. If you already have it, let's read it together. And if you don't have it, the description has the PDF file. Go download it. It's free. And read along with me. And we're going to wake up if we're not already woke already. And then we're going to maintain that state of enlightenment forevermore. Now let's begin. Lesson 4. These thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place, etc. Unlike the preceding ones, these exercises do not begin with the idea for the day. In these practice periods, begin with noting the thoughts that are crossing your mind for about a minute, then apply the idea to them. If you are already aware of unhappy thoughts, use them as subjects for the idea. Do not, however, select only thoughts you think are bad. You will find, if you train yourself to look at your thoughts, that they represent such a mixture that, in a sense, none of them can be called good or bad. This is why they do not mean anything. In selecting the subjects for the application of today's idea, the usual specificity is required. Do not be afraid to use good thoughts as well as bad thoughts. None of them represents your real thoughts, which are being covered up by them. The good ones are but shadows of what lies beyond, and shadows make sight difficult. The bad ones are blocks to sight and make seeing impossible. You do not want either. This is a major exercise and will be repeated from time to time in somewhat different form. The aim here is to train you in the first steps toward the goal of separating the meaningless from the meaningful. It is a first attempt in the long-range purpose of learning to see the meaningless as outside you and the meaningful within. It is also the beginning of training your mind to recognize what is the same and what is different. In using your thoughts for application of the idea for today, identify each thought by the central figure or event it contains. For example, this thought about blank does not mean anything. It is like the things I see in this room, on this street, and so on. You can also use the idea for a particular thought that you recognize as harmful. This practice is useful, but is not a substitute for the more random procedures to be followed for the exercises. Do not, however, examine your mind for more than a minute or so. You are too inexperienced as yet to avoid a tendency to become pointlessly preoccupied. You roasting us. You hear that? Further, since these exercises are the first of their kind, you may find the suspension of judgment in connection with thoughts particularly difficult. Do not repeat these exercises more than 3 or 4 times during the day. We will return to them later. All right. So, according to A Course in Miracles, we are too inexperienced as yet to avoid a tendency to become pointlessly preoccupied. That's so true, because for the most part, most of us are still asleep in this world. a lot of people are sleeping, as was I. And when I first got here to the text, I was doing the lessons, and I became pointlessly preoccupied with a lot of other things that had nothing to do with what was right in front of me right now. This happens a lot with all our brothers and sisters in this world. They are like goldfish with these short attention spans, so they can't preoccupy themselves with one thing at a time. And that's not inherent in their nature or in any of ours. It's just that whenever you have an untrained mind, it is more challenging for you to maintain your focus on what it is that is right in front of you at that point in time. So I just thought I'd say that. Jesus was roasting us right now, so I just had to mention that. That was funny to me. But anyways, this was a powerful lesson. If you really heard that, if you really read that, let's go ahead and go to the italicized portion of this lesson. It says, "This thought about blank does not mean anything. It is like the things I see in this room." Okay, that's all you do for the day. That's it. Throughout your day, make a time for this lesson to be done, and simply repeat that for a few minutes or a minute, like it states, because of our tendency to become preoccupied with meaningless thoughts. You're going to repeat this thought about, and then whatever is currently going on in your mind right now, you're going to state that. So this thought about blank does not mean anything. It is like the things I see in this room. This thought about making music does not mean anything. It is like the things I see in this room. This thought about answering these messages does not mean anything. It's like the things I see in this room. This thought about this person you're thinking of does not mean anything. It is like the things you see in the place that you are at right now. That thought about money that you are thinking does not mean anything. It's like the thoughts you're thinking. My bad. It's like the things you see that's right in front of you. The thoughts about, and so on and so forth, that you're thinking about does not mean anything. It is like the things you see in this room. Now, powerful. It's very powerful, because you understand that your thoughts, and I understood that my thoughts, they don't mean anything. They really don't. They have no meaning. They're like this phone. Back to lesson one. Lesson one, nothing I see means anything. Lesson two, I have given everything I see all the meaning it has for me. Lesson three, I do not understand anything I see. 4, these thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see. So we give our thoughts the meaning. We give it to them. We think thoughts about what's going on in front of us, about situations that we're going through, about our job, about what we create, our thoughts about our relationships, family, friends, our thoughts about money, our thoughts about whatever it is that you're thinking of. We give those thoughts meaning. And whenever you have an untrained mind, like most of us do, that is what keeps us stuck in the world of illusions, because we think what we're thinking is real. We think that what we're thinking is really going on, but that is far the furthest from the truth, because only love and light is happening right here and right now in this moment. That's just truth, and truth cannot be altered, cannot be changed. That's how it's always been. That's how it will continue to be. And whenever we're not experiencing that, it's because we're doing something with this powerful tool of ours to perceive something that is not there. We're perceiving falsely. We're thinking about these thoughts and we're giving them meaning, thinking that they are real. We're thinking that the things that we see are what is happening. But because we have this untrained mind, we are not in the position to do that right now until we regain our true sense of perception and knowledge, which is what we're learning by doing these daily lessons. And just to go a little bit further on that, think of a child, one you know, a niece, nephew, your own child, a grandchild, a friend's child, your sibling, anybody, or even think back to when you were a child if you can, and remember or look at this child that's in front of you right now and picture them, and they haven't learned as much as you have learned of this world. So they see another little child over there and they just want to go play. They want to go have fun. They want to go experience everything that this world has to offer because they know that it is love and light and joyous and expansion, creation. It is infinite and it is perfection. It is heavenly. And they know that deep down in their soul because that is inherent in who they are. And it was only because of what they grew up around in whatever environment that they're growing up around by most of the time very well-meaning people who are sleeping in this world and doing their best to teach this child about what they know in order to keep them safe. But that's the first false premise. The people raising a child believe that they have to keep this child safe. But what is there to be kept safe from? You are already safe. There is nothing that could harm you because you are love and you are light. You are not this body. So although the body could be harmed, what could be harmed is not real to begin with because only the eternal exists. Only the light is what is. It is truth. So by growing up and teaching your child that they need to be protected from something, you're making that thing that they feel like they need to be protected from real. When it's not real, there's nothing you need to be protected from because you are safe right now. There's nothing that could ever harm you. There never was, there never will be. So this child wants to go run and play and they have no judgment. They see this other kid and they just are happy because that is their function. That is your function, that is my function. And when we are not happy, we're not functioning. We are simply asleep. Now, we're hallucinating. The Course likes to say we're hallucinating when we're perceiving falsely. So that's powerful. Think about that. That's who you were. That little child who had no judgment. It was only after me and you learned from people who were asleep in this world about being careful who we talk to and judging others and all this stuff, we started to get standoffish whenever we seen another child of God in front of us or another reflection of who we are in front of us, our brother or sister in front of us, and we didn't feel comfortable about going up, or we felt nervous, or we felt like we were being judged. But you can't be judged unless you first judge yourself. So there's a lot that we have to go over that is in this text. And I encourage you to on your own time read entirety of Course of Miracles. Powerful book. And we will continue doing the lessons together. If that's just not calling you at the moment, it's all good. You don't got to read it. We'll do the lessons together and then reading could come after. But the whole purpose of these lessons is to restore that true knowledge that still is within you, that was who you were when you were a child and still is in you right now. We're restoring that by removing all of the blocks to that. Because remember, me and you were that little child and we knew of our perfection. We knew of our inherent good. We knew of our abundance, and we knew that we could be, do, and have anything while we're in these physical bodies, because when we're out of these physical bodies, we can be, do, and have anything. So there's no change except you're in this very consistent illusion, but being woke in it was what me and you intended. And then we fell asleep by people who also fell asleep because they taught us what is not. So our job, me and you, is to unlearn all of those illusions so that way we can regain our true sense of self And then from there, it's just the real world, this state of being that is right here and now for you and me and for everyone always. When we're not experiencing this, something has gone wrong and we need to wake up. Remember how powerful you are. You were created to create. I was created to create, and we are creators, but we don't even know that we're creating since the day we're born. So we're creating these beliefs that we believe are real, and we could be doing so much more beneficial stuff with our time here in these bodies, instead of thinking of what we're fearful of and then having it come to pass because that's how powerful we are. We could instead think about what we desire and have that come to pass, and then boom, we're living life as we intended. So that's lesson 4. This thought about blank does not mean anything. It is like the things you see in this room. Find some time and make some time, most importantly today, to apply this lesson. And until then, we will meet again for lesson 5.